I think it's underused in the sense that it's become such like aimed at the lowest common denominator because it's also become so successful, so it becomes derivative of like do the same thing because people go see it.
Right.
But as a filmmaker, what's interesting is it's a borderline experimental genre in that there are no real rules to it, and horror can be a metaphor, or horror can be a visceral experience, and it can create a feeling in an audience that it actually can make you scared, but it's just a picture and sound, and that's a really unique thing. And more than any other genre, it can create that visceral response.
Well, she believes in Eden Parish. She believes in what they're doing, and it's brought a lot of joy into her life, and it's helped her get through some really tough times, like drug addiction and sort of being in some rough patches, and it's given her hope that life can be worth living in a more interesting way, and it's really gratifying to build things and see things build from the ground up. Okay, so that's how I can see her being into it and why she starts out so enthusiastic. And then when the Vice guys try to take away that from her, that's like awful, they're taking away the very foundation that's making her happy and what she's put all her faith into, and everyone else for that matter. So I think that, she turns very quickly because it's what she's built or rebuilt her life on top of, and it's a very fragile sort of place to be in, yeah.
I am looking to always figure out ways to make money and work with my friends and have a good time. If you can sort of do all of that, then I feel like you've got it made. And so the Sacrament was a chance to collaborate with people who I knew well, who I'd worked with before, who I liked, and something that I thought had a good chance of turning out to be a good movie. So it was a really fun project to jump into.
It's interesting because, I don't know Joe as a director, but Joe's my favorite person to act with because there's such a high trust level, and I know that I just feel safe when Joe and I are on camera together. So it's easy to sort of not violate the script by deviating because I know that if Joe goes in a direction or if I go in a direction, it's because we have a creative idea to sort of bolster the motive of the meta story. So when it's just the two of us, we know that we can riff a little bit, but we don't want to subject other people to that the way we have in other movies.
Take us with you.
What?
You don't know what's really going on here. You would kill us if you knew we were talking to you.
Who?
Father, this place is not what it seems. They hurt people who go against the parish. Please, you have to help us.
We're saying we can't get away. What do you mean?
They keep it secret, but it happens. Father will not let us leave. We're prisoners here. You are being manipulated.
We talked with plenty of people. They all seem happy.
No, you talked with who Father wanted you to talk with. Many other people want to leave, but they're afraid to speak out.
There was a lot of acting that we were doing together where you kind of had to look
and it was
past three faces to me like, hey, I'm back
really
here
unfair
trying to do a scene with
frankly,
you.
It was really unfair to Joe. Me and my job is just to host the movie, so my face is always just going to be around there. But because we were shooting a single source documentary style film, we weren't getting a lot of coverage. So that meant long takes, which was very different for us. And so doing really long takes, Joe's supposed to be holding the camera, Joe's character is supposed to be shooting the movie, but he isn't right then. Instead, Ty is. So Joe has to try to figure out a way to be present because sometimes there's a 6-page scene and people are talking.
I have a line at the beginning and then I have a line 6 minutes later.
So that part sucked and you'd feel bad about. And I think there was, for me at least, there was some blown coverage a few times because I would look up and I'd see my friend Joe and then I'd be like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be looking at the fake Joe and which.
Oh yeah,
which
that
Joe,
part of it was weird actually. Yeah,
like,
because I would. My voice would come from over here, but you were,
And, like little things that were supposed to be easy, like passing off a note.
Excuse me?
A simple question. Do you love your wife?
Yes, of course.
And you do anything for her?
Yeah.
And what about that child you have on the way? Oh, what's wrong? You seem caught off guard by my question.
I like the stuff with you and me. Like, I enjoy, like, the really sort of light, real moments. And some of my favorite stuff, I think we didn't even end up making the movie because we couldn't make a 3.5-hour long Vice Guide to Travel. But all of the little humane moments between Jake and Sam were great for me. And then selfishly flying in a helicopter for 2 days was the raddest part.